What is up, guys? This is long overdue. We have the Midzuno. I don't know if I'm gonna upgrade it or not today. That's the whole point of this video. We have the Mizuno Neo Vista, the new view from our friends out in Japan, Midzuno. This is one where, man, it was so hyped. People said it was the softest shoe on the market. People said it was the bounciest shoe on the market. One of the best shoes of 2024. It came through my desk, and from the 11 shades of blue to the sloppy upper to the way that the midsole was shaped, it just did not hit for me. But as you guys are so kind to do and so respectful, you point out what I did wrong. This is what I've learned in the past year from reviewing shoes. There's a right way and a wrong way to run in shoes. You might think you just put the left shoe on and the right shoe on. Pitter patter, no. There's a right way and a wrong way to run in shoes. I ran in this shoe the wrong way on the first time. I am not gonna repeat those mistakes today. So if you're watching, take note, because you might be running in the shoe the wrong way if you don't like it too. So what we're gonna do today, I'm giving the Mizuno Neo Vista one more chance, all right? I am gonna give the Neo Vista a new view and see if we can get something else out of it, okay? What do you think? Should we get into it? Alright, Mizuno Neo Vista. What is this shoe all about? Let's do a little quick overview of this guy before we lace it up. So this is Mizuno's high stack marathon training and distance training shoe. It's supposed to combine comfort and speed. And that's where I don't know if I'm gonna say I misinterpreted. Yeah, that's where I misinterpreted what this shoe is trying to do. So you have a massive stack of foam, similar to the Hoka Skyward X, the Adidas Prime X Strong, maybe even Asics Superblast. And then you also have this plastic plate in here. We are not in Carbon County today. We are in Nylon Nation. So you get the big stack of foam. It is a training foam. It's a supercritical ethylene vinyl acetate, a supercritical EVA. By the way, supercritical EVA is one of the best training foams out there. It's in the Hoka Mach 6 and it's awesome. It's in the Brooks Hyperion Max 2 and it's awesome. So it's nothing wrong with the compound of the foam itself. It's just that in this shoe, with this stack, for me on the first run, it felt a little bit mushy. I felt that I wasn't getting much out of it. But the reason why I was using it wrong, according to a lot of people, and I'm joking around about using shoes right and wrong, there are different types of runs that different shoes are best for, and a lot of people out there were telling me this is not, contrary to what you might think with this massive stack, this is not a slow cruiser type of shoe. And that's how I tried to use it on the first run. I did a 8 to 10 mile just nice recovery run around the neighborhood. I think at around 8 flat pace, and it just felt like a lot of foam but not much bounce. And so people are saying you have to use the shoe to run faster, to do tempo runs, to do some sort of a workout, which was confusing to me because I'm not sure why they would create a shoe with a gigantic stack of foam and a plastic plate and not a race foam that would be used to run fast only. It doesn't really make sense to me. And that's why I never really got along with the Asics Superblast. And I'm in the minority here with some of these minority here. Did you say finance or finance? Finance. I have some JP Morgan bros and little Patagonia zip-ups all in the comments section talking about finance. You're gonna need a finance payment plan to pay for this thing too, because it's $180. My point being, once these shoes get above $160, like the Superblast, this and the Skyward X and the Cloud Monster Hyper, I want versatility out of them. I want to be able to use them for different types of runs. People all up in my comments on the Asics Superblast revisit I did, talking about I'm using that shoe incorrectly. There's not an incorrect way to use a running shoe. Here's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna pay more than $160 for a shoe, I would love for it to be able to do everyday miles for a training shoe. Now, race shoes are a different conversation. Those are $225, $250 at least. But for these training shoes, especially when it doesn't even have a carbon plate, it doesn't even have a race foam, it should be able to give me something else for my daily miles. And I was a little bit disappointed, or big time disappointed, on the first run that at an 8-minute pace, it just felt like a pile of mush to me. So we're going to give it another chance today. I did my 20-mile long run yesterday. I'm going to aim to just get some steady miles this morning, some pace pickup here and there, see if we get a little bit more bounce out of this shoe. It does have a really nice rocker, so there's a lot of protection. There's a nice rocker. I've heard some people say the foam does come alive, so we'll see if giving it a little bit more pace helps the foam come alive. And yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So $180, not the most versatile. Compared to the Skyward X, man, that shoe is my favorite shoe of the year. I think it's $225, so I haven't included it in all the lists just because when I make the lists, I do think about price a lot of the times. For the comfort list, I didn't. But $180, you get this big stack of foam. I'm not going to recommend a shoe for $180 if it can only do one type of run, right? Just get a race shoe then, because then at least you can race in it and do a workout. So that's the confusing part of this shoe. People are saying it's a fast workout shoe, but it's got this much foam. And the other last thing, Mizuno has the Wave Rebellion Flash 2, which is also a fast workout shoe with a big stack of foam and the plastic plate. So I was thinking this is supposed to be the long distance cruiser. That one is more of the speed oriented shoe. Apparently they're both speed oriented distance training shoes. They have two shoes that do the same exact thing. I don't know. We are gonna give the Mizuno. See, I say Mizuno there. I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm not gonna call it the Midzuno until we run it again. So let's go up there, lace this thing up, take it out for some miles. All right, guys, lacing up the new View 11 Shades of Blue. And everything about this shoe, there's some shoes that I just don't like. This is falling into that category for me. From the upper to the fit to the way it looks. So this shoe just does not have swag. And the upper is a little bit weird. I have to say, okay, lacing it up this time. I need to do a reset. I'm just coming off like a gigantic hater right now. Lacing it up, this midsole foam is very comfortable and very soft on step-in here. I also am wearing my merino wool socks, which are Cozy Boy Summer certified. And you might think wool gets super hot. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it's also well ventilated. It's like a little bit of a chameleon vibe for your foot. Merino wool. Shout out to Features Merino Wool, putting in work. Someone asked me for a sock tier ranking. All right. Tier A, number 1, Nike Dry Fit Crew socks. Just in case someone needs to get dunked on, they're in a class by themselves. That's Tier A. Tier 2, Features, OS First. Tier 3, everything else. And man, this is comfortable. It also has a nice soft, what is this thing called? The insole. This is a good insole. It's nice and soft. So already, just stepping in here, I'm having a better experience today. Let me tell you that. I am having a better experience. The upper does take a little bit of work to get on, but once it's on, it's not too bad. It still doesn't have any swag. This shoe is completely swagless. You know, pull up to the function with 11 shades of blue. Mix the cerulean with the royal. Bro, R.I.P. Nipsey. Don't walk through the wrong neighborhood in these guys. Someone might get the wrong idea. All right, we got these laced up. A little fit and feel of these just to reacquaint myself. Very comfortable midsole foam. You get a lot of cushion under here. The first run I did this, I'm not actually sure if you need the plate because the foam, it's not the softest. It's really not the softest, which I was surprised about, but on step-in here, it is nice. The issue that I forgot to say that I had with it down on the street is because the way that this foam is contoured, sometimes you don't get enough in the heel to land on. However, I ran in the Cielo X1 yesterday, and I just changed my stride a little bit so that I just made sure I was landing beyond the heel, and it worked a little bit better, so hopefully today we can try that too. I don't think this is a heel striker shoe. I don't, but we'll see. We'll see if we get anything else out of it. Yeah, the other thing I don't really love is this little thing, but one of my friends showed me this,
Ed Rios, he said, dude, you could just flip it down. Otherwise, it looks like we got a basketball shoe on. Yeah, this thing looks a little bit funky, but let's see if this monkey can party. What do you think? Should we do it? Let's do it.
Alright, early overreaction here. So far this is better, for sure. Running a little bit faster, trying to land a certain way, put a little bit more force down into it. Still does feel like some work to run this shoe, which is not what I get out of the Skyward X. That thing is just so easy to run it. But so far this is decently comfortable, and the rocker is nice. I'm not convinced on the foam 100% yet, but we'll see how it evolves. So the other thing with this shoe is it's very lightweight for the amount of foam that you get, or at least the amount of stack that you get compared to the Skyward X. It's not as light as the Superblast, and the way that they achieve that lightness is also by scooping out a gigantic amount of midsole from the center of the shoe. So you got a Grand Canyon down there. But yeah, on the straightaway right here, it's easy enough to turn over my legs in this. It's comfortable. I'm not getting as much bounce. Yeah, I'm just not getting as much bounce as from shoes like the Skyward X. Even the Superblast is a little bit bouncier, but the impact protection is there for sure. So I'm gonna ease into this run, give you an update in a bit. Forgot to say the plan for the run. We're going 8 miles, nice and steady. Just a little bit of turnover. Nothing too crazy. Not recovery though. Just everyday miles. Move the legs. Oh baby, we just got a wet patch and I was slipping and sliding like Trick Daddy out here. I do not think the grip on this one is Carolina certified. All right, 7:06 pace on the first mile. Honestly, a little bit faster than I'd prefer to run right now, but shoe feels better. Shoe feels better at a 7 flat for me versus an 8 flat. So yeah, you guys are right. This is definitely better for faster pace. It's still not sure this is the shoe I would pick to run this pace or this style of run, but it's definitely better to run 7 flat in this than 8 flat. Man, so this foam really is mid. This is a mid foam. This shoe is being carried by its geometry, its stack height, and the lightweight, which they achieved by sticking their middle fingers in the middle of the shoe and scooping out a big old chunk of it. But the foam itself is unremarkable. I'm not getting a lot of bounce from it. The geometry is what's doing the work. This is like the Asics Tri-Noosa. Good geometry, incredibly mid foam. The incredibly mid true story, featuring 11 shades of blue. Alright, mile 2, that was 6:37. I feel like I'm running with a pair of Big Macs on the bottom of my feet. Like Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey pints. It's like a large Donkey's, some caramel swirl. Alright, somebody said they wanted to see pictures or video of the shoe while I'm running. Here you go. Whew. This might be a case where I don't like the shoe, but it likes me. I'm flying. 6:08 on that last mile. Uphill. That's my guy right there. He's a survivor of a Tri-Noosa 16 attack. Please stay off the Tri-Noosa 16, everybody. And I'm completely bombing down this hill like Kylian Jornet. And the protection on these is great. Out here like I'm in Chamonix. Kylian Jornet. Grip is sketchy for sure. All my blokes are telling me they love this shoe. My friend Ed and Rob, I don't understand how. This is not a British shoe. It is not good in the wet. This is a Bahamian shoe. Woo! This is what you call back outside, man. We're moving 6 flat pace. Pushing it. Man, we were just locked in working. Locked in working on that one. All right, let's see what we got. Boom. Boom, 8.24 miles, average 6:13 pace. 51 minutes, 19 seconds, locked in, moving. Man, Barefoot Mafia done thought we were slacking off, thought we were sleeping, because I was putting out those Hyperion 2 and Noosa Tri videos. And then bang! Hoka Skyward X 20 miler. They thought we were done, but we're not going to stop there. Boom! Mizuno Neo Vista. Little 6:13 pace run. Man, the Barefoot Mafioso, they've been real quiet since that CLOX1 video dropped. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, so I don't blame you guys. But we got 8 miles in the Mizuno. I can't call it mid. It looks mid. The upper looks mid. The swag is low grade. It's not even mid grade. But this thing can move. I gotta give it to it, man. Looks like some dollar store Penny Hardaways. Looks like a flea market Shaqs. It looks like the Jordans. When you said you wanted Jordans, then you had to go to Payless and get the whatever they had there, or the Stefan Marburys at Kmart. That's kind of what these look like. And the foam, it doesn't feel that fire. The foam doesn't feel that special. But the geometry, the lightweight, and the stack, it really is doing this shoe wonders. Crafted to experience effortless performance. They were not capping, man. This is a solid shoe. I have to say, this is a solid shoe. I'm going to go shower, and we can hit them with the breakdown. It's just been wet out here. Wet and wild. All right, friends, we got 8 miles moving and grooving in the Neo Vista. And let me tell you, Barefoot Mafia, they're going to be down bad this week, man. We're coming with the Cielo X1, Neo Vista, and then we got a little bang bang coming later this week. Just watch out, man. We got two chunky, thick boys coming through. This is how you cap off Cozy Boy Summer. I think we only have, 2 or 3 more weeks of official summer, and then I know we have the September 21 shenanigans, but summer ends, Labor Day? Mace is going back to school, and I think she's meeting her teacher this week and then back to school next week, so we're capping off Cozy Boy Summer. I had to come back around on the Nipsey Hussle 5000 here, 11 shades of blue, Midzuno Neo Vista, and I can't crack the Midzuno. It's not a mid-ride experience. It is a solid ride experience. So let me tell you, the key to this shoe is not the foam. It's not the midsole compound. And that's the confusing thing for me, or just the different thing to a lot of the shoes in the category, which I'll pull out in a second. We have so many great foam compounds out right now, and I think about a shoe like the Hoka Mach 6. Just so simple, supercritical EVA, supercritical ethylene vinyl acetate, just a standard training foam that's been livened up with some gas in there to make it a little bit bouncier later. That's one of the best foams I've tried. This foam, completely unremarkable. Completely average. But the beauty of the shoe is not the foam. It's the lightweight, which isn't even achieved by the foam. It's achieved by how much I told you, the little middle finger scoop, did a boop out of there. So that's saving a lot of weight on the shoe. The geometry, there is a really nice rocker down here, which does create that smooth feeling ride. And then the protection, the stack height. So lightweight, protective, and fast. That's a rare combination. You really are only getting that in race shoes. And this does it in a training package. So the confusing thing for me, and the different thing for me with this shoe than what I was expecting, is it's not a bouncy shoe. It's just not. It doesn't have that that the Skyward X has. It doesn't even have that ping that the Superblast is famous for, right? The Superblast is not a soft shoe. I have the Superblast right here. This is not a soft foam. Oh, whoa. Whoa, okay, there we go. There we go. This is not a soft shoe. It is a firm shoe, but the beauty of this guy is when you put some force down into it, it flings you along. The Neo Vista here, you don't get as much compression of the foam. It's only so soft in that it will absorb your impact, but it's not squishing down, which was actually kind of nice today because I was enabled, I was allowed, I was able to throw down some fast pace. Let's throw it up here. I was throwing down 550s and 6 flat pace, which is not something that I've done in a lot of other max stack shoes. So the beauty of the shoe is you get the tall stack height, you get the lightweight, and you get a really nice rocker geometry, which means it's a decently comfortable shoe while still giving you some speed capability. So fast and comfortable, not fast in that it's giving you a lot of speed assistance. The foam isn't the bounciest again, but when I was running fast and locking into some better mechanics today, the shoe was working really well. So I was running with my typical strength running style, pumping my arms, throwing down my legs. I was digging a little bit more off the forefoot than I typically would, and that's when the shoe performed best. Landing up in the forefoot, digging, and kicking along. So this is not a shoe still where you're gonna be able to hang back in the heel. Something like, bang, Hoka Skyward X is still a little bit better for hanging back in the heel. This is still gonna be better for relaxed miles, and this is way bouncier at relaxed paces for me. But the difference between the Skyward X and the Neo Vista, Skyward X is a lot heavier. This is a heavy shoe. That's to say it's a bad thing, but it's just a heavy shoe that gives you the benefits of speed assistance and that impact absorption, but it's not as light as the Skyward X, and this shoe just feels easy to turn over. So throughout the course of those miles, and let me tell you, today's run, that was a solid run because we did a 20-mile long run yesterday in the Cielo X1. I was throwing down some 550s yesterday as well. I did a little workout of 2 miles on, 1 mile off, so I was going 550 and then just recovering at 8. And then today, double back and put up a 6:13 pace 8 miler with 6 of those miles at a 6 flat or a 5:50 something pace. That's solid. And the reason I was able to do that is by building up my mileage gradually over time. And now it's easier for my body to do these harder efforts back to back. So I'm still trying to massage out how I'm going to best train for Chicago, but just stacking up solid, quality, good runs together like this, that's a good way to do it. We just got to make sure we can recover and get back out there. I'm probably going to double up later this afternoon, but point being, man, building up mileage is what allows us to run better over time. And that's my issue with this shoe. That was my issue initially with this shoe. This is not a mileage building shoe. Feel similarly about the Superblast. At my size, you need to be a little bit heavier or just heavier on your feet than I am to get the most benefit out of the Superblast at relaxed miles. And this is where the you're not using the shoes right people come into play, because they say it's not a slow mileage shoe. It's not a slow mileage shoe. These are both training shoes. They're not racing shoes. And as such, I expect most training shoes, especially with these stack heights, and this doesn't have a carbon plate. Yes, this has a plastic plate, but it's not the race foam. I want more versatility out of these shoes, and that's why I like the Skyward X. The Skyward X is a mileage building shoe. This is a shoe that you can use for any run out of the week, especially if you're heavier on your feet like I am. I can use this for recovery runs. I can use this for fast runs like this morning. Neo Vista does not feel as good for those relaxed paces. And that's my issue with this shoe. $180. I still might have a hard time recommending this just because of the price, and it is a narrower use case. So what is this shoe going to be best for? The runs like this morning, tempo style runs, getting out there, moving a little bit faster if we want to be protected and we want to have a slightly softer feel. Now, it's not the softest out there, but is definitely softer than the Superblast, and I actually think I like the Neo Vista more than the Superblast now, but it's not as bouncy as the Skyward X, not as fun and exciting of a ride. So still not the most exciting ride, but solid, good for faster running, nice and protective, nice and lightweight. I could turn over the legs, so I'll probably upgrade this out of that mid camp. Now, 2 alternatives that I did want to recommend. If you are looking for more relaxed mileage shoes and you're looking for something soft, New Balance Balos. This is one of the softest shoes that I have tested this year. I think this is available 8/14. Today is 8/12. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be 8/13, and by the time a lot of you watch it, it will be 8/14. So this is coming out soon. Very soft shoe. If you do not like soft, do not get this shoe. It's almost, I think this is gonna be a dichotomy or a little split camps here. If you love the Superblast, I'm not sure you'll like the Balos, because this is a super soft shoe. But if you are looking for more of a versatile, relaxed mileage, do-it-all type of shoe, and you're willing to spend $200, Balos is gonna be the better option. The Neo Vista really is, it is that more speed-oriented shoe, which is kind of a weird thing. The other thing with this guy is the grip was not good today. I was slipping and sliding. I'm not gonna make the joke again, but I was slipping and sliding out there. I'm a little bit disappointed in the grip here. This actually has really solid grip, even though you do have the ethylene vinyl acetate, the ground contact EVA here. The grip was good. I used it in a torrential rainstorm. The grip on the Skyward X is also a little bit better. I actually think that the grip on the Superblast, and I've heard the Superblast 2 grip is good as well, is probably better than the Neo Vista. So that's the one downside, man. I was really slipping in this guy. But this is the shoe I'd pick if you're looking for that soft daily mileage shoe, that mileage building shoe. I've taken this up to 90 minutes or 100 minutes, I think an hour 45, and it was comfortable. The Neo Vista definitely takes it for speed, but this has some comfort to it. Now, if you're looking for non-plated or just plastic plated, something not too harsh, and you want something a little bit firmer and bouncy, I would check out the Topo Spectre 2. Now, this is 100% race foam. This is the polyether black amide. This is the PIBA midsole. You get good protection. It's pretty stiff. It almost feels like a plated shoe, but there's no plate in here. You get a nice rocker. It's great for moving and grooving. I do have to say, man, the Neo, after this run, for faster miles, I might like the Neo Vista more. So I'm gonna have to do a little head-to-head between these guys. I am impressed with the Neo Vista. It's definitely not a mid-ride experience at all. It just looks weird. It just looks weird, and I don't like that it's not versatile, but Topo kind of looks weird too. But this guy is firmer. If you want something more supportive, if you want something that feels a little bit more natural too, you get the wider toe box. There's a really nice fit in here. You also get a wider heel for some stability. I was gonna say one more thing. Oh yeah, lower drop. That's nice. So if you want something a little bit more firmer, a little bit more structured, that would be the Topo Spectre 2. This thing can absolutely fly, but the Neo Vista can as well. So if you're looking for fast, lightweight, protective for marathon training, this is a good shoe, man. It was singing at 555 this morning. We were throwing down some 550s and some 6 flats, and this felt great. I really want to test it on a long run next, or some sort of a high mileage day, probably a long run. I've been using a lot of the race shoes for the long runs, but I might have to mess around and hit you with the Neo Vista long run. Let me know what shoes you want to see me test on a long run that I have not tested yet. But Neo Vista, this has been upgraded for sure. I enjoyed it. Only real downside, well, there's a few downsides. The price, the grip is the main running experience downside when I think about fast running. And then the versatility, it is a little bit mushy and has a little bit of that stuck in mud feeling when we're not running fast, almost like the Superblast, but the foam is solid, not great. You get a lot of protection, you get some good stack, and the rocker here is beautiful. So Mizuno Neo Vista. Solid shoe, solid shoe. All right, I'm glad we did this revisit. Let me know what else I should revisit next. We were flying out here this morning. I think I gotta get the Hyperion Max 2 up here sometime soon for a revisit. Yeah, let me know what you wanna see long runs and revisits. I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. One more thing, man. You already know how I'm coming this morning. A little bust down recovery pancakes. Look how fluffy these flapjacks are. Man, bang. Supwell Kitchen is on fire. Charlie's putting in the work this morning with some fluffy vegan pancakes. Can't get those at IHOP.